Welcome to Resoundingly Human, the podcast by Informs. I'm Ashley, and in each episode, we explore how analytics, operations research, and AI are transforming our world, from healthcare and policy to business and beyond. Earlier this year, we kicked off 2026 with Informs President Mark Lewis talking about his vision for the year ahead. Now, just after the Informs Analytics Plus conference, his first major event as president, we're checking back in to reflect on what we've seen so far, what stood out, and what's still ahead for the Informs community. I'm so pleased to welcome back Mark Lewis, 2026 Informs President and Professor at Cornell University. Since we last spoke, Mark has stepped fully into the role and helped lead one of our first major gatherings of the year at the Informs Analytics Plus conference. Today, we'll talk about what he's seen so far, what's energized him most, and how that's shaping the path forward for the rest of 2026. Mark, welcome back to Resoundingly Human.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. It's good to see you.
Mark, when we last spoke, you were just stepping into the presidency. Now you've had a few months in that role and your first major conference behind you. What has this experience been like so far?
It's been a whirlwind, I'd say. Oh, there's a cat. There you go. It's been a whirlwind, to say the least. I think I sort of knew, because the Informs presidency is only a year. You're only a president for a year. You're past president for president-elect, past president, and past president. So a 3-year stint in total, but president for only 1 year. I knew I had to sort of hit the ground running. What I wasn't sure about is that I didn't know about that the ground was actually moving below you as well. So if you're not going fast enough, you will faceplant. So that's something I wasn't really prepared for, but that's exactly what happened. So that's good. It's been a lot of fun. It's also interesting to see that some of your vision is sort of taking shape. You have an idea, it's really, really blurry. You can think of it as a blurred Zoom background, if you will. As you move through the year, it gets a little bit more clarity, and hopefully some of those things reach fruition by the end of your time as president, or maybe even past president. But I'm seeing that now, and that's really been kind of exciting to do. I guess we'll get into more details later, but that's really neat.
Let's start with Analytics Plus. What stood out to you most? Any moments or themes that really captured the spirit of the conference for you?
So you said that earlier, you said I led the conference, and what I realized, is it's not really true. I mean, led is I guess maybe in big quotes, I'll put air quotes up, because it's run so smoothly by Informs that they just tell me what to do. I'm sort of walking around and they say, Mark, here's what you have to do this, and you have to do that, and here's the person to meet. So it's really, really being led through things much more than me leading anything. That's fine, which makes it much easier for me. But things did stick out, as they always do in these conferences. Two things jump off the page. The first one, it's going to be true every year, so this is not going to be consistent just for me, but the element competition always just blows me away. It's amazing to me how much we've done for the analytics community, just being ORMS professionals, and how much can be done and how much could be done in the future. So that's just wow. And every time I go to that conference, I'm newly impressed. Now, don't ask me about the details of who said what and who did what. I just remember Microsoft won. So good for them. And every single finalist was absolutely amazing. The second thing I've really, really appreciated is I'm starting to see people either, let's say, adopt or appreciate, for now, let's say, the Informs Analytics framework. It's starting to codify itself in the land of decision making, which is really nice to see. I think that the data-rich environment that we're living in now, and it's even accelerating, we're going to really need to be smart and savvy about how we make decisions, how we use data, how we remind ourselves what data has been used so far, and what we can do with the incoming bits of data. So I do think that the ORMS community has a huge place to have an influence there. And I saw that in the conference.
I just want to chime in as someone who gets to talk with each of the teams for the podcast series and the lead up to the conference. I was not that I'm not excited every year, but this year I was really excited for the competition. And as someone who can be included in that group of telling you what to do and what to say at the conference, I appreciated your cooperation very much.
Hey, thanks. I'll have to tell my wife that. I listen to what I'm told. There you go. See if she agrees.
Did anything from the event surprise you, or perhaps even shift your thinking about where the field or Informs is headed?
I guess this is a good question. I think I would say nothing really surprised me. I've been to several of those conferences before. And so I just get reminded of the passion of the practitioner community when I go. At heart, I'm an academic. I've been an Amazon scholar for a couple of years, but for the most part, my career has been in the academy. And so I just get reminded that there is a space between what we academics do and what practitioners do, and there's a bridge that can be built between the two. I think a very good one, but it's always good to go see and say, oh, this is what I'm missing as an academic, and the practitioners are doing an amazing job at that. So that is not surprising. It's just a reminder, and I do think that we're on the cusp of seeing that the chasm close a little bit, where the bridge will be shorter and shorter each year. And I'm a bit of a cynical optimist. So that's kind of what keeps me going. So it motivates me. My cynicism motivates me. My optimism keeps me on track. And I'm really excited about what can happen in the future.
If a cynical optimist is also a realist, so that's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. In our last conversation, you shared your vision for Informs in 2026. How are those priorities all taking shape so far?
Yeah, so we have five ad hoc committees. I'm an ex officio member of two of those committees. So the AI committee and the quantum computing committee are sort of carry on. So Dave Hunt is sort of handling those, and the past president Julie Swan is the head of the Informs Analytics Framework Committee. So those are running on their own. But the two newest ones that I implemented, the Humanitarian Operations and Logistics Committee and the Energy and Sustainability Committee, had their first meetings earlier this month. And so that's really been exciting to see them get started.
So, Mark, are you seeing early momentum in any particular area, member engagement, new initiatives, or collaboration?
So I already mentioned two committees, the two subcommittees. That's kind of, those are new and exciting to see where those go. I'm also starting to see. I don't know if you knew this. I spent some time with a former student of mine in Taiwan. Went to visit for about a week and a half, and I learned a lot about what some of the people from the international community are seeing. And I'm starting to see a vision as to how that can also be impactful at the Informs level. So have some ideas about how we can move that forward. I know we're planning to have a couple of conferences in the future in Asia. I'd like to see that expanded worldwide to see what we can do. That's kind of exciting too.
Have you heard anything or gotten any helpful feedback from members that's helped sort of refine your approach as president?
I guess I'll return to that visit to Taiwan. I think I learned. I don't know if they told me this, but what I learned is that people in the Informs community don't see us as just meetings, just publications. It's really the whole thing that they see, and so that's something I'm sorry to say I'm not sure I appreciate it. So I think, oh, the meeting is coming up in November or October. This is when I go to the Informs thing. Or I'm writing a paper. This is when I need to use it. Actually, it turns out that just think about how we created editorial boards. Even the creation of editorial boards influences who's going to attend the conferences. And so these sort of things are sort of interwoven together to make what really makes Informs what it is. And that I'm not sure I appreciated until I became president. It's maybe sad to say, but it's true.
The Analytics Plus conference is all wrapped up. Looking ahead, we have the healthcare conference and then the annual meeting on the horizon. What are you most excited about with either or both of these two events?
The healthcare conference is coming up in a couple of months. I'm not going to be able to make it, but I wish I could. It's an area that's near and dear to me. I've written several papers in this space. And so I'm hoping what I hear back is that the people that did attend had an amazing time and got together and moved the field forward. This is what I hope happens. The annual meeting, I'm always excited to see my group of friends. We'll get together, talk about some of our work over the last several years. This is true for any meeting, and even as president, that's true. One thing that I really would like to do as president, I have to talk to Grace to see if she'll let me do it, is there's some places where I view as my home when I was not president of Informs, and I want to make sure to make those meetings. So the Minority Issues Forum is one, the Applied Probability Society is another. And I fell down last time. I missed some of those meetings, and I want to make sure that I go as president.
I'm sure we can definitely make that happen.
Well, now I put it on the podcast, so Grace is going to make it work.
The pressure is on.
That's right. She's going to make it work.
So these are, the healthcare conference annual meeting are two unique and independent events. But how do you think these upcoming events build on the momentum from Analytics Plus?
I think, first of all, any conference just gives you a little boost. So it reminds you why we do what we do and the impact we can have. And hopefully when we sit in our offices in our little silos, we are also looking outside and taking advantage of what's around us. But I think every meeting does exactly that. It just brings us together with people that are kind of like-minded, maybe from different constituencies. and expands our horizons. So that's what I think about in any conference. That's what I hope to see happen.
For members thinking about getting more involved, what would you say to encourage them to jump in? Maybe not straight into the Informs presidency, but in another opportunity.
I think the answer to the question is first, if you so I think I mentioned maybe last time we spoke, but first it's you find two communities. One of them is sort of your academic or where your practices community is first. So for example, for me was the Applied Probability Society. That's what I do. And then the second place you should find is your affinity community. If you happen to have one, you don't have to, but if you do, that's great. And so I spend my time in the Minority Issues Forum, as I told you before. So what I would say about that is after you've done that, to get more involved, figure out who the officers are. And they will absolutely put you to work and maybe put you on a path toward becoming an officer in one of those communities. That's how you get started. If I were to do it again, I'd do exactly that way.
Excellent advice. All right, Mark, I'm sure you'll remember from our first interview, our Ask AI segment, where we ask AI a question and I get your take on the response. And I think this question is really good, especially coming out of the Analytics Plus conference, which is definitely more industry focused. All right, so here's today's question. What is the biggest mistake organizations make when trying to build a strong professional community? And AI's response: the biggest mistake organizations make is focusing on structure instead of connection. They build programs and platforms, but overlook the human experience of belonging. Strong communities aren't just well organized, they're participatory, inclusive, and shaped by their members. People stay when they feel seen, heard, and able to contribute. In short, community isn't something you deliver, it's something you cultivate. So, Mark, I'd love to get your reaction to that.
That last part is basically how I've built my life's work. So, as an assistant professor, I wrote a career grant. We all do. I mean, it's not a secret. And my career grant was on parallel processing networks and building a community of underrepresented minority researchers. And so, one might think that doesn't make any sense, Mark. Those two things aren't connected. It turns out that those two disparate things are exactly how I live my life. I certainly spend my time thinking about the technical pieces of decision making in queuing networks. That's certainly a part of it. But my time spent with the community at Informs is what really pushes me forward. And it's not far off from what Informs is offering for anybody. So that's the Informs brand, if I can say it that way.
Very well said.
Yeah, I got it right. Who knew?
You're in agreement with AI, which is always a good sign.
Right.
Let's wrap up our conversation with a few rapid fire questions. So just say the first thing that comes to mind. Favorite moment from Analytics Plus?
Yeah, I have two. Can I say
that's okay. You can do two. You can do two.
Put a little apostrophe. That's with the little parens around it. Moments from
favorite moments from Analytics Plus. There we go.
So I got to meet one of the cabinet members from India, and the fact that the person just came for the Analytics Plus conference was just and he was very gracious and kind to spend his time there. I met him and his wife, and it's just really, really cool. So that was really neat. So that's part A. And then part B, I found this. They asked me to be on the Informs Analytics Framework panel. So it's me and basically some practitioners talking to practitioners. And although I have like I said, I've worked with industry people, and I also have an Amazon connection. It was eye opening to be there and to sort of be humbled a bit. And I really like that. So they were saying, hey, Mark, this is what we do. Here's what you don't do. And why aren't we working together to make these things connect? And that was really neat. I like that.
I'm glad we expanded it to moments instead of moment, because those were two really terrific ones.
Good.
All right. One word to describe the Informs community right now.
Awesome.
Approved.
I don't know if I'd like that answer, but that's my answer. Let me just expand a little bit, if you don't mind. The thing I think about is that what I've learned, so I'm taking community in the broadest sense. So I don't mean just the practitioners and just the membership. I'm also talking to people that work at Informs. So I could have used dedicated. If I just looked at the people, if I said the people from Informs, including all the volunteers, dedicated would be a natural response. But then I wouldn't encompass the people that I've met outside of that group, which are also dedicated, but really just amazing at what they do. And I've been impressed. It's expanded my horizons a bit, as opposed to just being a probabilist. So I really like that. Awesome.
I like awesome too. We also would have accepted fabulous, but I think awesome, it captures everything that you were trying to express in one word.
Thank you.
Is there a topic or trend you're especially excited about?
I like the idea of building a cohesive community, but at the same time, I think the community is expanding. And so I want to say cohesive and expanding. Those are the two things I'm really excited about doing. I mean, there are people that are outside the community right now that should be brought into the fold, and I really think we can do it. So,
Mark, this next question might make you some enemies. Coffee or tea during a conference day?
I'm gonna go with so coffee is the answer, but it may change. This this is like the to me this is the what's the oh god, I can't even think of the name now. Politician's answer, because because I drink coffee, I don't drink tea. My doctor tells me I have to drink less coffee, so I might start drinking more tea. So there you go. Coffee for now. Next year, maybe tea.
Coffee, but open to tea. Okay.
Tea. I am. That's right. That's right. I'm I'm in favor of tea as well. So don't beat me up, British colleagues of mine.
Spoken like a true president. Answer the question you want to answer. All right, Mark, what's one thing you always make time for, no matter how busy things get?
Again, one thing's not going to do it. I have two daughters. So if you can let me say my kids, then that's one thing, then fair enough. So I'm going with that. But otherwise, it's always me with the two kids, Eden and Willow. Whenever they call me, that's when I stop and do what they need me to do.
Terrific response.
If I had 4 kids, it'd be 4 of them, I guess.
Yes, then it'd be 4 responses. Yeah. We'll count that as 2 different responses because they're 2 very unique individuals who.
And if you met them, you would absolutely agree. 100% that's true.
Mark, it's been so great to check back in and hear how your vision for 2026 is already taking shape. And once again, I'm still fangirling like I was after our first interview. What stands out most to me is the momentum, not just in the working being done across analytics and operations research, but in the strength of the community driving it forward. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Behind every model, every insight, every breakthrough are people. People asking better questions, building connections, and showing up to move the field and each other forward. To learn more about upcoming events like the Healthcare Conference and the Informs annual meeting, be sure to check out the links in our show notes. Mark, thank you again for joining us, and thank you to our listeners for being a part of this community.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
All right, I'm Ashley, and this is Resoundingly Human.